Thank you, Axel Toss. And Carpet, you are looking
James,
mighty fine, I must say.
You know, thanks.
That tie and that suit jacket, just so on point.
It was actually like an accident. They didn't come together. I had to find it.
I don't believe you. That's just a story that you tell people.
I want people to think that I know how to shop pretty well.
Well, you're looking very dapper today, but let's get to the game. NRG versus Denial. Denial is a team used to be known as Equinox. In fact, Chrome used to be on the squad, and we just saw Chrome last series with Genesis make it in. So now we'll see if his former teammates, Denial, can take out arguably one of the best teams in North America. NRG, what do you think?
I mean, I just cannot talk about Garrett.
Yeah.
Garrett G became a household Rocket League name last season by just being a monster.
Garrett Gibbs, right?
Garrett
That's
Gibbs,
what the
apparently
G
is his name.
for?
Yeah. Oh my Garrett. He earned the nickname by just being a monster and just being incredible. All through league play, all through LAN, he performed almost at his peak every single time he touched the pitch. So it's hard, you know, as much as I want to talk about NRG, because every player on, I mean, that whole roster is really strong. But they've got Garrett.
Yeah, they do have Garrett. Garrett was a huge pickup.
Yeah.
He was like the #1. Everyone, when he came out to LAN, he averaged over a goal a game, but they only played about 9 games.
Yeah.
But they have been struggling a little bit. NRG has had not the greatest performances in some of the recent online tournaments, but this is the stage in which it matters. So we'll see if NRG can take this. But I feel like Denial has a legitimate shot at taking them down here.
From what we've seen so far today, I think everybody does.
Yeah, with Radiance making it in unbelievably. But we have kickoff here. Lethamyr going up against Jacob. Now Fireburner trying to push this one out into the middle. Does get a second touch, but Sad's going to be able to clear it up. Side flip by Jacob. That leaves it for Garrett to get a big hit into the corner. Now Leth going for it. Jacob stops it at half, but Corrupted G is there for the shot. And that's easily handled by Fireburner.
Jacob's positioning, we talked about it a little bit earlier. You know, we're talking about a tournament play. Jacob is one of the players that can make something out of what seems like nothing. And Garrett, with his consistency, working with Jacob, setting him up, I think is going to be a really difficult thing for any team to overcome.
Yeah, these guys play really fast, and when they're on point working together, NRG is a pretty unstoppable force, and Garrett just has that power to carry the team on his shoulders. Now NRG on the assault. Sad gets a touch, but Leth is also out of the play. Corrupted's going to have to make a play here. He does buy enough time for his team, and oh no, he didn't manage to steal that corner boost.
Fireburner now, we know he's a pretty grounded player, does like to stay back. Sad Jr. almost making an angle out of what seemed almost impossible.
Now head down in the corner, a miss by Lethamyr. That opened up a shot opportunity for Jacob. Now Fireburner's going to put it off the corner of the ceiling, and that one's easily hit aside by Corrupted, who has a little bit of space going for the air dribble. And then Lethamyr actually hits that right into him. Corrupted G going for the demo, and that just goes off. What? Fireburner deflects it in his own net.
This couldn't be more unfortunate. I do like these two coming together to pinch it through. Sad Jr. gets a pretty solid shot, but Fireburner just missed it.
That was so weird.
Behind his Batmobile.
I don't know.
That's
why maybe you shouldn't use the Batmobile. That was a very strange bounce off of his Batmobile going into the net. And now another shot on net. Fireburner and Jacob both going for that one. Denial getting an early lead, and oh, Garrett G almost sneaking that in by himself.
One of the best records. We've seen him take it from almost any angle possible, but now we're going to see that whiff shot almost leaves the net wide open.
Oh, it's saved by Garrett G. He taps that up the sideline into the corner. A very good save in a tough situation. Garrett G on the defensive side of the ball, making it happen. Now Fireburner under attack. A demo by Left. This is an onslaught. That's going to get chipped right in by Corrupted G.
The pressure from Denial is really catching NRG off guard. They're just not positioned for it. We saw actually a pretty decent touch from Fireburner, but then the player that had to take his spot got demoed. Fireburner, there's no way he was going to recover in time, especially with what boost he had. Solid shot by Denial to take advantage.
That placement, just a lovely little chip. Not too much power on that shot, but just in an unsavable spot. Denial a 2-goal lead here, and Jacob's going to answer right back off of the kickoff.
You know, I thought this was going to be a bit more powerful. He got a little bit too high. I think he tried to read Corrupted's touch.
Yeah, Corrupted messed up there.
And Corrupted
flying around like a duck.
Like a
messed up wings or something.
Or just a duck in general, to be fair. Ducks don't fly too well.
Are you really?
I mean, not compared to other
I'm going to have to look up how ducks fly, because I honestly thought they had very good flying abilities. But anyway.
Not today, they don't.
One goal separating these two teams, about half the game left to play. NRG, arguably the favorite in this matchup. And a demo from Fireburner is going to take Lethamyr out of the play. Jacob setting up the pass. That one's going to go off the backboard unless someone denies it. Lethamyr does get a touch on it, but Jacob was able to get that boost steal. We might see Denial get in a troubling boost situation, but no, they do manage to break out. Now Jacob with a touch. That one's going to be followed up by Fireburner, who puts a shot on net. Corrupted G's going to put it off the backboard. Chance for Garrett to pass it out. Does get the touch. Jacob up for it, gets another pass, but no one's there to clean it up. Fireburner went for the demo instead of following that pass up.
Fireburner actually bumped Lethamyr in net and then got a demolition on the way out. And another demo for Fireburner. He's just on a killing spree right now. And it could give them the pressure and the control they need.
It's a brawl right now. Just more demos from Fireburner.
Fireburner! They have families.
Thank goodness they can respawn. Oh, it's
the dribble!
Lethamyr! Oh, that was nasty play by Lethamyr. Solo play getting the goal.
Doesn't care about all these demolitions. Get that first pop around Fireburner, and then look how much he waits. He baits that defender to stay on the ground just long enough to know that he can't get to that crossbar on a nice high pop.
Yes, that was very, very good execution by Lethamyr. Those 1v1 situations.
Oh!
What? What is happening, Carpet?
This might be a done deal.
The face-off goals. Oh, Jacob's nose, like when he flipped, his car messed up. I hate seeing face-off goals in any situation. That was so weird. Jacob, when he was flipping, his car just dragged on the ground, it looked like, and it messed up his approach to the ball, so he wasn't able to hit it. So just a strange situation there, and a kickoff goal for Denial.
3-goal lead now with only a minute and a half left. It doesn't look too fantastic for NRG in this first game, but remember, this is the very first game of a best-of-5. They have plenty of time to kind of recollect themselves and continue on from here. And
then Corrupted G with another opportunity. And really, Sad Jr., he got dropped from NRG, so I don't remember if they touched it on the desk, but this is a pretty big game for him. He previously had Garrett G's spot, and he was let go, and Garrett G was brought on board. So this is a bit of a vengeance game for Sad Jr., and so far, it's going to plan for Denial as they're up 4-1 with just a minute left in game number 1.
And to talk about Sad Jr., he's more of like a wild card style player. He really doesn't seem to have a fitted position. He does what he needs to, and he can honestly execute some of the weirdest things I've ever seen someone do with the cars in Rocket League. But the problem is, if you're not ready for it, you're not going to be able to capitalize, and it's not going to be that worth it.
Early on in Rocket League, he was the guy making all these insane passes to Kronovi before anyone had any Rocket League experience. And Sad Jr. still involved in the scene, and right now trying to fight to get into league play here for Season 3 on the North American side of things. So right now, good start for them. Time winding down. This one is all but lost for NRG. They just want to get some back here, maybe to get some momentum going into the next game, but NRG's been looking pretty flat.
That pinch actually worked well in their favor. That ball dropped straight in front. I think NRG right now just want to make sure they can grab that momentum moving into the next game. I mean, this was a lost cause probably about 2 minutes ago. 3 goals in 2 minutes. Most teams won't allow you to do that no matter how good you are. At this point, we're getting to the point where if you want to get a good goal, you probably have to make a pretty good play to do so.
And we've seen NRG struggle in these situations in the past in some of these online tournaments where they just can't seem to get their style of play going. Right now we see Jacob with the goal, Garrett with the assist. A lot of what we usually see from NRG when they're succeeding is that Fireburner is scoring pretty much half of their goals, and Jacob is assisting pretty much half of their goals. So you bring on a player like Garrett G, who's so insanely talented in the air and so mechanically gifted, and that just, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have the best team. You actually have to have play styles that work together well, because, you know, right now it's not working out for NRG, but it is game number 1. But what do you think, Carpet?
I don't know. I mean, the subject that I like to touch on a lot is if you're going to have a player that has a very specific play style that he excels at, you kind of have to allow him to do that when he's on your team. Now, the problem is if you have 2 players with very conflicting styles of play or even similar styles of play, and they're both trying to thrive together, they both really need to concentrate on working together. And we know Fireburner and Garrett, both some of the best strikers. We had Garrett last season, probably the top striker.
He, at least in the finals. Historically, I'd say Fireburner's probably the best scorer in North America. But Garrett
right there.
He's right there with him. Right there with him.
So having these on the same team, they can conflict if they end up going for the same balls or not setting each other up as much and just keep trying to take certain strikes. Last time we saw, or last game I believe it was Garrett with 5 shots and Fireburner only with 2. So
we'll see how this pans out here in game number 2. We've got Denial, who took game number 1. And this is a best of 5, so 2 wins away for Denial. They're going to try to close this one out here at the start of game number 2. Fireburner passes that one out into the middle for Jacob. Jacob getting blocked. Now Leth puts that one up. Garrett's going to have an opportunity. A weird shot, and both players up. This is a defensive disaster right now.
Everyone's just there waiting for it.
Denial, they had sent 2 players up there. That net was so wide open, but no one from NRG was in position to capitalize.
Sad, what are you doing?
I don't know.
So a lot of times you see stuff like that, it just kind of turns into a wasted boost to this degree. A lot of these players can read your air dribbles 95% of the time. It's just a matter of if you can try and fake it or do your best to try and deal with it. But I don't know. That was an interesting choice, but I think he's just trying to keep it away from his opponents, keep control of it, and hopefully have someone come up for the pass.
But we see it all the time. Even though the last game was a bit of a blowout in favor of Denial, every new game just has its own feel. So we'll see if NRG can turn this one around. I've seen them lose before 6-0 in a game and then bounce back and win the series pretty convincingly. So NRG's been in this spot before and they've been able to pull it out, but Denial is just one of those teams that honestly I think is pretty underrated in North America. These guys are really, really good.
They are very, I don't know, they don't have the appearance of some of the players that we've seen on the RLCS, so it's a lot of people will underestimate skills at that level.
Oh, a double miss there.
Oh no.
That double miss, but again, yes, I agree. They might not be the biggest names like Corrupted G. He was on Deception, which finished 8th in the last league play, and they were kind of like the Radiance of last season, making it in when no one thought they would. And then Lethamir, I believe he was on Vendetta, and he lost his starting role, I think. So, yeah, it is a little bit of a hodgepodge group of players, but they've really stepped up this season. Now that ball's going to be floating out into the middle. Again, 2 minutes have gone by, and we are still scoreless here in game number 2. Fireburner trying to make a play happen. Lethamir backwards just lets Corrupted G take care of that one. Now Lethamir racing for it. Wins that 50-50 against Garrett, but he's looking for boost. Doesn't have a lot, and that's all he can manage. Does get a second touch. That's actually not a great touch for him, but Sad is there to punch that down into the blue half. Corrupted with the boost steal, leaves that for Lethamir. Lethamir's going to put it off the backboard. A chance. Jacob up, goes for the touch, misses it. Fireburner's going to have to save it. He does, but Lethamir going for this double tap. No, he abandons it, leaves it for Corrupted, and Garrett makes the save.
The patience from Garrett right there to know that second touch was going to be off the backboard and to try and follow through takes a lot.
That was quite good patience there by Garrett. And these teams just feeling each other out. Good opportunities for both sides right now to put a goal in, but they haven't been able to just get it those final few yards into the net. Now Jacob with the second touch, lovely, but Corrupted there to deny it. Now Leth gonna go for the clear. Fire beats him to it. Chance for Garrett, but Corrupted G knocks that down to the half. Sad went for that deflection and he missed it. Now Sad pushing it into the corner, gonna try to pass it out, but Garrett G shutting that one down. Counterattack opportunity. Garrett with a little bit of a slow start gets knocked out of the way, but is able to pass it up, but still denied at half by Denial.
He tried to get Lethamir to commit to that a little early and bopped it above him, but the sad part is he couldn't follow that through, and someone from Denial was there to just shut it down right away, which is what they're doing well. They know NRG has the passing plays. They know they have the awareness of each other to really pass it around the field, but they're just trying to get in between all that. They're sticking themselves in between players and trying to prevent as many set pieces as they can.
Oh, and that pass, lovely from Garrett, but solid defense from Denial, keeping things out. Still scoreless, and a strong shot, but Garrett is going to be there. 4 minutes elapsed. 1 left to go. Garrett with the one-on-one situation gets the go-ahead goal for NRG.
I don't think Sad Jr. was facing this situation, so it was pretty easy for Garrett to make this, but what a powerful shot he made off the ground.
Yeah.
Sad Jr., he was faced the wrong way.
He could have done more.
Yeah, it's tough, because if he tries to turn around, at that point he'll be so far back that Garrett has full control anyways.
Yeah.
And if he tried to take it backwards, Garrett has mostly full control anyways. He was just caught in a bad spot.
You got to pre-jump in those situations.
Yeah.
Like, there's no hope. You've got to just try to, block as much of the net as possible, but Sad got caught there out of position and didn't even jump for it, so there was no hope. Great shot, though, from Garrett, taking advantage of that situation. That was a big goal for them, as now they're 1 goal ahead with less than a minute left to goal. And the goals coming at a premium this game. Jacob going for one of his unorthodox touches. Fireburner's going to have a chance to get it again. He goes for the shot that's going to be just high.
No one followed up thinking he was going to be able to pull that off. I also think Jacob was taking the time to recover and get boost. That is a smart decision considering you're only 1 goal up with 20 seconds left. Don't go for things you know aren't for sure a goal, but they are going to keep the aggression on enough and take another goal. Garrett G to help secure his teammate's pass.
Oh, wow, what a play. They're off the block by Jacob. Set that up for Fireburner.
That touch from Fireburner perfectly on the back wall. He probably could have gone for the shot, but he knew it's probably going to be a bit too weak.
Yeah.
It would have been a really weak shot straight down. He didn't have time to rotate his car, so it would have been the bottom of his car. So he hits it off the backboard instead.
Leaves it for Garrett G.
Yep.
But again, that started there with Jacob getting that block and allowing Fireburner to go for that one. So NRG, after losing 4-1 in game number 1, are able to shut out Denial in game number 2 and get the victory. And again, this is a best of 5, so both of these teams at this point just need 2 more wins to get their ticket into league play.
1-1 yet again here.
Are we going to see another Game 5 carpet?
I hope.
Yeah, I'm glad you said
I hope. The players,
that was a sad I hope.
I mean, I hope. It's also stressful.
It does.
It's not great on my heart.
No, you know what? I know how you feel because I was watching that Take-3 Genesis game. It was.
I was like, it's a good thing James isn't
sweating
casting because he would have actually cried on air.
I cried back there. People were taking videos. It was bad.
Yeah.
But they still have a shot. They're still in it. They've got the lower. But here, NRG bouncing back, losing 4-1, which they had on offense. They didn't have much going. And honestly, this game, it was a little bit better, but I still didn't feel like it had that offensive presence usually that we see from an NRG squad. But again, this is a new roster. They added Garrett G, and it is changing it. He did get both of the goals for NRG in this game. But that second goal was a really good team play where Jacob blocked it. Fireburner got up quick, put it off the backboard, and put it in. But Denial came up a little bit flat. But still, I don't know. Going into game number 3, I still think Denial has a really good shot at this. And NRG, they're going to have to keep their play up if they hope to keep Denial at bay.
They definitely will, and they haven't broken out their kind of secret weapon that we know NRG does, which is just demolitions. Well, they really haven't cracked
they've
it
been
out.
doing a little bit of that.
They did for a bit, but again, it was just like Fireburner driving around, killing everybody he could find.
Yeah, that was mostly an outlet of rage when they were losing, I think.
He's like,
he was
I'm
mad.
done.
It's like 4-1, I'm just going to blow him up.
I mean, it probably worked to get him a little bit on tilt, but usually we see them do it a little more tactically. But keep an eye on Fireburner. Every time he goes up to take a shot, he will almost always take a look at his opponents and try and see if he can get a demo on his way out.
Yeah, it really is. He's so aware. He's a very, very intentional player. Everything he does has a purpose. Every touch he makes, he's really, really good. He's not a fancy player. He just is a no-nonsense, play smart, get the job done type of player, which is really refreshing to see.
He needs that title.
What?
No nonsense, get the job done.
That's the worst title. Thank goodness you are not. Oh, I'm not even going to get into it. That's a bad title, though.
I think it's great. There he is again, going for a demo on his way out.
Now Garrett trying to do something himself, gets shut down. Corrupted G and Lethamir both going for that. Fireburner blocks it, sets that up for Jacob. Jacob with another touch, but that'll be to the benefit of Denial. Corrupted G taking the shot off that Jacob touch. Jacob getting it by Sad. A chance for him to make something happen. Just flipping by it 2 times in a row to try to warn the offending team off, perhaps.
I'm coming for it. I might not hit it, but I'm coming for it, says Jacob. And there's another demolition. If they keep that up, it will be so hard for the Nile to keep a tight rotation. Once you remove somebody from the pitch, if you time it even slightly off, or pretty much make them have their timing slightly off, once you make your opponents have to replace each other in net and kind of mess their mental rotation up, it's really hard for them to get in that groove.
Especially that last player in net. If you can just mess up their timing on when to jump for a save, like even if you don't demo them, it still can be quite effective, but you also risk being out of position. But so far, this has been another close match. We saw no one scoring pretty much until the 4 minutes elapsed in game number 2. And again, we have a slow start. Denial, quite the big goal drought for them. After scoring 4 in game number 1, held scoreless all of last game and all of this game as well.
See Fireburner dropping back to net. He does feel comfortable being that third shot, that grounded player, while Garrett and Jacob try and set each other up for some passes. Garrett's been, a little bit quiet. We haven't seen a whole lot out of him, but I think he's just waiting for that opportunity.
We've seen pretty good defense. Oh, right as I say it. And that's going to go off the crossbar. And another one off the crossbar. Fireburner, if he just approached that one perhaps a little more slowly. But Jacob!
That's a redemption.
Off the wall? An unorthodox shot indeed by Jacob.
That's a redemption. He missed that first shot, and then Fireburner missed it. He's like, no, you know what? I don't want to miss that again.
Fireburner missed the steal too.
He's like, Jacob's like, I'll just make it harder on myself. Take the shot from the corner instead of right in front of it.
What on earth?
He doesn't like the easy shots.
Yeah, he missed 2 hit opportunities on the wall, but somehow he had almost no time to react to that ball, but still managed to put a shot on net. That one taking Denial by surprise. And a backward save by Fireburner. Awkward positioning by him, but he still makes it work. Now Jacob trying to pass that one out into the middle. Corrupted G misses out. Fireburner presses the ball. Sad trying to get it past Garrett, but Garrett's going to put a shot in there where Corrupted G able to keep it out. Now Jacob still getting that lob in, and Fireburner's just going to get the slightest touch to beat the defense.
So many things went right for this. This first touch actually from Garrett right before the replay started was such a good read off the corner wall. He stayed patient and down. And look at that Fireburner. Instead of retreating back, he noticed immediately, I have something. I need to go for this, because he noticed that Garrett was too far away. No one could take the follow-up shot.
That's like, a heads-up play.
I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah, because a lot of players in that situation where Fireburner's in, they'll take off ball cam and just start looking for the nearest boost.
Yeah.
But Fireburner was able to just keep, he was aware. He was aware of what was going on with his teammate, Jacob, going up for that ball, and was able to just turn around and get that shot, surprising the defense yet again. And now a 2-goal lead and a demo for NRG. Things looking up for them.
May have been a bit accidental. Sad Jr. Oh, his interesting ball.
Oh, that redirect from Jacob, narrowly missing out. Garrett's going to pass it back. But Fireburner was a bit too far away, but that was a good shot and a wonderful passing play from NRG, even though they didn't connect on it.
NRG seemed to be a little in their groove right now. They're getting the touches they need. They're looking out for each other.
That looks like Fireburner got bumped on the retreat as well.
What have I said?
You jinxed him.
What have I done? Garrett just a bit too late. He was a little too far back at that point. Knowing he's last man, Corrupted G's never going to get a shot too fast for Garrett to react from there. So I think he had already half made the commitment, so he decided if I don't go now, we're screwed.
Yeah, and also Fireburner got bumped by Lethamir there as well. Yeah. So that was a tough situation, but Denial heads up play from Lethamir getting that bump. And now they're just 1 goal away. This is game number 3. We're tied at 1-1 in the series.
A touch from Fireburner.
Now Lethamir's going to take his time with this one, trying to get it by Jacob. He does get it, but Jacob bumps him far out of position. Corrupted G trying to settle it and hits it a little too far away. That lets Garrett get the pass off the backboard. Sad Jr. able to knock that one down into the blue half. Lethamir tried to follow that up, but a little pinch it looked like. Gets the clear on behalf of NRG. Lethamir up. Just about half a minute for Denial to tie this one up. The pass, or the hit out from Garrett, he just knocks it down, trying to buy his teammates time to get some boost and recover on defense. Time running out here for Denial. You're going to have to make this play happen now. Jacob gets the bump on Corrupted and keeps it in the half. Fireburner will also be able to get a hit here. Denial struggling to get a counterattack started. The set there by Lethamir. Sad's going to get a little bit of a pop, but that's going to be shut down, and that bump from Fireburner is going to seal it as he hits it in. And NRG take game number 3, 3-1.
Not a goal I'd really want to write down on record. Denial had no choice but to fully commit for that last opportunity. I liked it. They slowed it down. They tried to buy out the defenders, pull them out, get a hard flick. No one was followed up quick enough. I don't think the flick was as powerful as he was hoping. So they ended up making a 3-1. I'd still say 2-1. That game felt a lot more even on the scoreboard.
They definitely had to go all in on that one. They were running out of boost. They were stuck in their own half. NRG was doing a good job of just not letting them get anything going on offense, not giving them time to try to set up any passing plays. They were just launching it down. And then you see there 5 saves from Garrett. Garrett previously getting all the goals. Now he's getting all the saves, but we're starting to see Fireburner get started scoring some goals, even though that last one was a bit of a freebie.
Now, I just want to make a quick comment on it because I'm noticing it as I'm swapping through the cameras. A lot of people always ask the pros, like, what are your camera settings? Do those make you better?
What are your camera
settings? My camera settings, who cares?
Okay, sorry.
I think I just copied a pro a long time ago. And
yeah,
I'm just
it's probably Fireburner, right?
Maybe. But speaking of, right, Fireburner, his camera is so high you can barely see his car when he's in the air.
Well, he's like riding a stick of gum. Like the Batmobile. How
it's
can
a
you
cereal
not see
box.
over that?
It's more of a cereal box.
You're right. Yeah.
But you look at Sad Jr., and it's like he's just staring at his car from the top down. Like, you look at his camera. It's so high, and it's like so angled down, which you don't see people usually messing with the angle. And I just kind of love seeing it because there's really no right. It's really just what are you comfortable with.
It's what preference is. Like, if you want your mind blown, Cookster plays on default settings. Rizzo uses the joystick to actually move his car. Like, he presses forward.
He accelerates with the joystick.
With the joystick. I don't even know how that works. So
I think he's just a sociopath.
Yeah, but
there's no way you do that if you're a normal human being.
It's great because there's no wrong way to have your settings set up, your controls or anything like that. So it's refreshing to see how varied and how much diversity there is in camera settings and in car selection even. Although I'd love to see a few more Mercs.
Well,
there it is, Sad Jr. just looking.
He's looking straight down at his car. It's the weirdest camera setting. But he's been doing it since the beginning.
This is still a chance.
Corrupted with a shot.
Lethamir puts it in, and just 6 seconds into game number 4.
The kick-off goals. We've seen just a handful of them today, but they're just powerful enough. Jacob mistimed it a tad bit. You want to get there before it gets underneath that crossbar, or else you're going to have to worry about some weird bounces between you and the crossbar. You want to get there just before. Push it to the corner.
Second kickoff goal there for Denial. And they leave Garrett in net that time. It looks like they might have been going for the fake kickoff potentially. But Denial, a quick goal. They've been struggling a little bit, putting things in net. But now game number 4 with their back to the wall. If NRG take this win, NRG will qualify for league play, and Denial will go down for one more shot to make it in.
Corrupted G does take a good Oh no, both of them whiff on that! Sad Jr. for some reason still went for this. Even though there were 2 people in it, most players would see Garrett and Jacob, they'd be like,
they did it twice. Before that hit too, they both went for the ball, and then afterwards they both hit for the ball. You've got to communicate. That's a tough situation, though, when you've got such little time to say, I've got it, but there, you know, two hits in a row, they sent both players at it. So rough for NRG, but Denial start to make things happen. They know if they lose this game, they are going to have their back to the wall down in the lower bracket. Now clear up into the orange half. Jacob gets another touch. That's going to be up for Fireburner, but Corrupted G is there to get in the way. Jacob with a back pass to Garrett. Garrett self-pass. We'll see if he can do anything by himself here. Going for the air dribble. But that one, not enough space for him to work with. And a demo from Fireburner, as NRG has been using those demos all series long.
I want to give a lot of credit to Denial for really not getting choked up on those. The fact that all the bumps, Corrupted just gets bumped, and instead he just jumps backwards to still make that save. They're somehow dealing with all this physical play in stride. They're not getting mad and trying to do it in return. They're just dealing with it, they're communicating quickly, and they're getting in the position that they need to be in.
And that's the mark of a really top team. If you mentally, a lot of these guys are on the same level in terms of skill, but mentally is the mental game is what separates the players. And at this level, if you want to make it into league play, these games have so much pressure. If you want to make it into league play, move on to the regional championship, you really just have to have a very strong mindset. Now Garrett's going to try to take this up. Jacob with the bump sets it up for Garrett. What a play by Jacob, clearing the path for Garrett.
It's like watching like your childhood pet just like. Ooh. Look at, he just had to watch this goal go in. Poor Corrupted.
That was mean.
He got destroyed, just shoved all the way into net, and then he just had to watch. There's nothing he could do to stop himself. He might have been able to flip, but it wouldn't have mattered. And he just had to watch them.
Jacob, give him an assist. I don't know if he got credit for the assist there. I don't know if he touched that last, but Jacob deserves an assist for that one. That was a lovely heads-up play, bumping that last defender out. And Garrett, he knew it was coming. So props to NRG making that play happen. Now another pass from Jacob. Fireburner puts it in, but Lethamir was there to knock it out. One goal separating NRG here from Denial. NRG wants to take this game right now. They do not want another game 5 today. Jacob over to Garrett. Garrett getting blocked by Sad. Sad's going to have a big clear opportunity. Tries to slow play it. Lethamir's going to leave that for Corrupted. Corrupted.
I think somebody just got bumped. I think Sad Jr.
He went for it. I don't think he got it, though.
I think he might have slammed one of them. I couldn't tell.
Now another demo from Jacob. Jacob and all of NRG just abusing Denial. I hope they've got airbags in some of these cars.
I honestly can't tell which situation I'd rather be in. Like, okay, we have to score one more, let's get aggressive, or, oh God, if we let them score, we might lose the lead we had. Neither of those are situations I want to be in, but I can't tell what's a little bit better.
Jacob! This is what we're talking about with pressure maybe getting the best of somebody. Lethamyr tried to slow play it, which is not always the best when you're trying to dribble it out, and then Sad just had...
He almost had that.
He almost did, but
sick.
that was pretty insane, but still, they shouldn't have been in that position. That was a... Lethamyr tried to play that one a little bit too slowly, and you've got to just clear it out sometimes, but still it was... props to NRG for taking it to denial on that one, taking advantage of the mistake from Lethamyr.
Being down 2-0, they tie up the game in what could be their qualifying game. If they win this, they will move on. They will qualify for group stages, and the pressure will be off of them.
And we're all tied up. NRG wants to close this one out. If NRG wins this game, they're moving on. Again, if denial wins, they can force the Game 5, which would be the third Game 5 series. We'll see it. Oh, that ball's wide open. Scary moment there for denial. Now Lethamyr trying to slow play it again. Fireburner comes in, stops that one short. Sad going for the dribble, flings it off the backboard. Garrett up a little bit late. Jacob is able to get a touch to throw off the denial offense.
Oh, the dunk from Lethamyr.
That was a big dunk, but no one up for denial to take advantage of it. Corrupted up on the walls, trying to get hit, gets it over to Leth, who's gonna come off the wall. Still gets it past the defense, and gets it by Fireburner. Corrupted's gonna try to pass it, he does get the pass, but that one was just gonna be a little bit too hard for Lethamyr to handle. And still another chance, that's gonna be a save from Fireburner.
Garrett!
Wow.
Oh, NRG is staying alive. They want to make sure that they can try and take this last game, even if they have to bring it down to overtime. Garrett's gonna pass this up, actually to himself. Jacob being smart.
Dunk.
I like that Jacob stayed down on that. He knew Garrett was going to go for it, so he stayed down on the ground. Since we've seen several times now,
yeah,
NRG,
sending a little too many people at the ball.
They're just a little too excited.
Time winding down. This is going to be the last play. Sad going to try to keep it in the air, but he misses it, and that's going to hit the ground. We've got overtime in here in game number 4. NRG 1 goal away from qualifying for Season 3 league play for North America. Denial just trying to keep their hopes alive.
Denial might want to try and buy a bit of time and wait for a mistake from NRG,
and
but there isn't
going
to be one.
Fireburner clutching it for NRG.
As quickly as possible, this touch from Jacob off of the wall and somehow read by Fireburner, and he didn't just read it, but he placed it so beautifully. He kept it down, kept it straight.
Wow.
A bullet to the post on the left-hand side. NRG in a 3-1 fantastic series. It might not seem well, but I think Denial brought it as close as they could.
That was, yes, it was a good performance by Denial. They kept it relatively close. Again, in that forcing overtime in game number 4. NRG, a lot of people had them pegged, though, as being the team that moves on in the series. However, Denial, really, they started off well with that 4-1 game, just taking it to NRG. But NRG, they just were able to keep it going, and the final play of the game was a Jacob pass to Fireburner. What the classic NRG.
Well, you know, just the usual. Just a regular Saturday afternoon for Jacob and Fireburner. But that's, I mean, just these two guys sticking together for so long, it's going to show.
Yep.
I guarantee you it's going to show throughout league play that these guys are going to prove, like, hey, we've been on a team for a while. We know how each other plays. We know exactly where to be. Especially because Jacob, so weird.
Yeah. They've been the #1 seed from North America going into the World Championship for every season so far. So we'll see if they can do it again. But we're going to go back to the desk. They're going to break down that match for us. So Axel Toss, back to you.